Colorado.
Happy Thursday. It is April 18th, also known as Friday Eve. I'm your host, Kimberly Pro, and in this first hour, it is National Exercise Day. CC Zach has a conversation with experts on physical conditioning and how you can really maximize and improve your performance. Plus, Covered Bridge. We love our partnership with them, and they have a conversation with Donaldson Coaching. So buckle up, grab that cup of coffee. Hour one of Good Morning Vail starts right now.
Things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail. Good morning, Vail.
Hey, it's your boy, Nephew Tommy, your host for an all-new season of Black College Quiz, where the nation's best and brightest display their knowledge of Black history and culture while competing for prizes and scholarships. So get ready to see HBCU Nation take the academic field. Black College Quiz! BCQ! Black College Quiz! BCQ! Black College Quiz! BCQ! Yeah, man.
Hi, it's Julio from TV8 Vail. Do you ever wonder why our tagline is "There's more for you" on 92? Because we're always bringing you more. More Good Morning Vail from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. all year long. More local coverage with Vail Vibes and Covered Bridge on TV8. More opportunities to participate with new roundtable panels on Mountain Perspectives and our expanded Spanish programming block. Find us on Comcast Xfinity Channel 92, on YouTube, or our website, tv8vail.com.
Welcome to the Vibe Report with Avisha. This is where I tell you all about the exciting happenings around town. With ski season coming to a close, it's time to celebrate the end of another successful winter. The town of Vail is having their Vail Après end of season bash, starting with the Vail Social Ski Race on Friday at 1, followed by live music with Cass Haley. More details can be found at discovervail.com. On Saturday, Cucina in the Lodge at Vail is having their own end-of-season celebration called Kill the Keg Party. The lucky person whose beer finishes each keg will get 50% off their entire tab. 420 celebrations are taking place Saturday, April 20th, with Taylor Scott's 420 Throwdown at Shakedown Bar. The 2nd Street Tavern is having a party, and Chasing Rabbits will have music by Holidays featuring Julia's Sandstorm. Also on Saturday, the Cocktails and Canvas series continues at the Alpine Arts Center with a tree painting event. Visit alpineartscenter.org for more information. Earth Day is Monday, April 22nd, and the preceding week is Climate Action Week. Walking Mountains has a week full of events, including a backcountry snowshoe hike. Visit walkingmountains.org/climateaction for all the details. That's it for this weekend's Vibe Report, friends. Be sure to follow the Vail Vibes TV8 Instagram for more info. And as always, spread the good vibes.
Welcome to Hiring America, the television program that helps veterans find jobs and transition back into civilian life. Hi everyone, I'm Gigi Stone Woods. I'm truly honored to host this vital program. Reach out to the opportunities you see on this program by logging onto our website, hiringamerica.net, and by following us on social networking sites such as Twitter. We'll keep that information available throughout the broadcast and on our website 24/7. Now, let's get down to business.
Good morning, Vail.
Physical fitness and agility is so important to those of us living here in the Valley, and we love making sure that we have conversation because it is National Exercise Day. CC Zach talks to some local experts about how to really improve your conditioning.
Just so excited to talk to you all today about physical conditioning. And as I mentioned in the introduction, I am blessed to have Dan Swenson, the owner and founder of Dogma Athletica, as well as Sophia Decolati, who is a gym equipment representative. So to the two of you, thank you so much for joining. And let's start off by telling our viewers a little bit about why the two of you live in the Valley, how long you've been here, and why you stay here. Dan, how about you?
I am very new to the Valley. My wife and I relocated here just in August of this past year when we bought Dogma Athletica from the founders of it. So we had been living in Chicago. I've been a long-term finance executive at some major publicly traded companies and reached a point in my life where I said, hey, I want to move away from the corporate world and do something in the fitness and wellness industry to have, a really good impact on folks. Looked around for a business for sale because I knew I wanted to buy something in the Colorado region here because we spent summers here, we spent winters here, and we just love the state. And we found Dogma Athletica, and it was the perfect location in the Vail Valley here. So yeah, we've been here since August.
And for our viewers, can you tell them what an accomplished athlete you are? I know that you're probably a little humble about it. In the time that I've spent with you, I can tell that you're a very humble individual, but please just tell how accomplished you are with your certifications and the triathlons and the biking that you've done.
So I've been a cyclist and a triathlete for quite some time here. I've won a few different regional championships. I have a state time trial championship from Illinois. And during COVID 2020, I was going to do a whole slate of races that ended up being canceled. So instead, I ended up doing some really epic solo events. They have an approach called the fastest known time, where people do this on running trails, they do it on cycling routes. So I hold the record for the fastest known time cycling across the state of Wisconsin, some 230 miles at about 22 miles an hour.
Oh my goodness, wow. All right, viewers, that's really fast, so note that. I wonder how many of you out there have ever participated in that, the fastest time. So thank you for sharing that with us.
Thanks.
So Sophia, what about you?
Well, I've actually lived in Colorado for almost half my life, but I covered as a sales rep, I covered all of Colorado, and I never knew you could actually live up here in the Valley. And so, during COVID, I'm one of those that said, "Why am I living in the city in Denver?" So, I sold it all and moved up to started in Vail, and then ended up in Edwards 2 years ago, and just found it the most amazing place to live, and just the experience of loving being outside, and that's just created so much new joy and happiness in my life. So I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, and I love that because it's brought joy and happiness to myself. I mean, this really is home for me now. So, and it's great to have two new friends that love to be physically fit. So, speaking of being physically fit, Dan, what is your philosophy on conditioning? And help us understand the value proposition it really brings to those of us that came to the mountains because we love it.
I look at exercise as the equivalent of adult play. I tell people I love being in the gym because it's like being at recess all day long. And having that physical activity and focus on fitness in our lives, by having the focused approach, it allows us to do so many things, and for our elderly population to do those things continuing on later and later in life.
Yeah, and I myself, one of the things that challenged me when I first got here was the altitude consistently. And so for me, conditioning really is around how do I continue to build my cardio, which actually was very good at sea level, but nowhere near where I wanted to be here. So
I can recognize that. Going from Chicago at 700 feet of elevation to Avon, Vail Valley at 7,000 feet of elevation, there's a little bit of adaptation that I'm still going through myself.
So I chose to live up higher. So I live at 8,200 feet. So when I sleep, I get less oxygen. So I'm trying to figure that out as well. But Sophia, what is your philosophy as an individual? A woman here in the Valley. What's your philosophy on physical conditioning and exercise?
I think it's always been fun to come here, and we all always want to be outside. And then, how do we bring that inside? And so my philosophy is just what can I do year round that gets me doing all the outside adventures that I want to do? And that's when it comes to, I've got to find the right gym, boutique, group class, anything that gets me motivated to stay healthy. So that's where my expertise and my experience in covering all of the territory has shown me the different opportunities, the different unique choices that we can have. So whether it's doing a group fitness or a personal training or a yoga Pilates class, there's so much variety here in the Valley to choose from. And that's just what helps me stay healthy to get back outside.
Well, and it's interesting that you say that, because one of the things that I've encountered here is that it's actually overwhelming, the choices that you have. And you just brought up two things for people to consider. Is, do you enjoy group fitness or do you enjoy individual fitness? Any comments on that, Dan? Because I know with your studio, you have the ability to do both.
And we really enjoy the fact that we can do both so that we can meet clients where they are. If we have people who want that group accountability, which is fantastic when you have people next to you kind of motivating you on as you're motivating them on, we have that offering. We also have a lot of people who are really busy executives and have very high value use of their time outside of the gym that come in and say, hey, I want just one-on-one sessions with someone who can tell me here's what I need to do to accomplish these kind of goals in my life. And then we also have the things where we're doing, people coming in and working on their own. They say, hey, I know what I want to do, I know what my workout routine is, and we provide them the space to do that.
So the other component to this too is that the way I've always looked at physical conditioning or working out is really strength and cardio. Are there others to be thinking about, and what thoughts do you have on strength and cardio, and how do you parse them together and separate them?
There's so much choices to make with that. So strength, cardio, functional type of training.
Oh, yeah.
You've got the, I always fall back to the fact of what works for me, what inspires me. And again, if we're talking about group fitness, is it group fitness on machines or is it group fitness on the floor? If we're talking about personal training, is it doing something that is functional, again, using kettlebells or slam balls or something like that? But there's so many unique pieces out there. And again, just because I do represent a company that sells the best fitness equipment, I'm biased, in the world, there are pieces that combine strength and cardio now too, that combine strength and functional training. So I think it's obviously overall.
Does that mean, to clarify for the audience, and for me too, is that when you do one exercise, you're doing strength and cardio at the same time?
It does.
You're making me think of burpees, which is my least favorite thing.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, think of a rower now that, people in the past would always just consider rowing as a cardio exercise. But now there's pieces that have the strength component where not only are you doing it for cardio, but you're dragging an anchor, the feel of dragging an anchor. So it's in the form of a deadlift, meaning strength, without having the weights on it. So there are different ways now and different pieces that can combine everything, which is amazing.
So one thing I know when we were prepping for this episode that you also brought up, and Dan, it was you, is mindful conditioning as well. Any comments on that type of exercise?
Absolutely. I think that physical fitness is about our whole well-being. So not just the fitness of our bodies, but the fitness of our minds. And so having those yoga type of classes too, where I think that's another area of fitness where we move beyond just strength, beyond aerobics, but we get into range of motion, we get into stability, we get into balance. And having all those things come together is so important. If you're out skiing, say that you're coming down Grouse Mountain and you're hitting all those moguls, you're fatiguing yourself from the aerobic activity. You're having to have strength in terms of bearing the load on your body, but then you also need balance, because if you get out of balance in skiing, that's when you create fall conditions and people are at risk of injury. So working on that stability, working on that balance is really key for injury prevention as well as overall fitness.
Well, I thank you for that, because I have been trying to perfect how to ski those bumps on grouse. And obviously, I need to spend more time with the two of you. So with that, I'm going to ask you to stay tuned, viewers, because we'll be right back with the continuation of the physical conditioning episode. And we'll talk more about specifics about how you can thrive in the Vail Valley.
Good morning, Vail.
Each week on the Tech Show, you can look forward to the latest in technology and how you can use it too. We'll also chat with leading experts, and you'll find out if the latest gadget will take my money or not. Don't miss the Tech Show. Check your local listings.
Next up, we've got a special duo from two of the best voices in the bluegrass and country genres.
We know you're going to love this one from Melanie Cannon and Willie Nelson. Here's Back to Earth.
And the songs our love created, I still sing. And every night we make the rafters ring.
My name is Tyler Alvarez. I work here at Sweet Basil in Vail. I'm a bartender here. I originally came to Vail to snowboard. I slept on my sister and my cousin's couch for what was supposed to be a week, turned into 2 months, and then I found my own spot, and then kind of made friends and worked different places in the valley and kind of just fell in love with it more and more every single day, and ended up finding my way to Sweet Basil through some friends who worked here and all the great things that I heard about it. And yeah, I've been here for 4 years now. It's hard to wake up in Vail and be upset when you look outside. It's just beautiful. My favorite part about working at Sweet Basil is definitely that I could be proud about everything that we're putting out, whether it's food, drinks. We also get to be really creative here. The bartenders, the whole team here, we workshop our menus every season, so we'll start with a spirit or an ingredient, and then we get to be really creative and make a whole project of it. And then when we get the final product, it's a drink that we're all really proud of for the whole menu, and that's super fun, just being able to be creative and work with new things. And the most fun cocktails to make, though, are definitely the ones that we get to create from scratch. When people take a sip and say, oh my God, this is delicious, or they just love it. And that's probably the most fun for me, the creativity behind it and making unique cocktails. That, for me, that would be the most fun drink to make, just the one that you start from scratch and then people are excited about. I'm Tyler, I live and work in Vail. Come see me at Sweet Basil.
Good morning, Vail.
In continuation of exercise conditioning, let's keep watching the conversation with CC Zach and the experts.
This is the physical conditioning episode, and I'm CC Zach with Dan Swenson and Sophia Decolati. And where we just left off was talking about some of the equipment, the tools that we can be using here. And Sophia, being the expert in the equipment, maybe you could help our viewers understand, what are these big pieces of equipment that we see in gyms, and what are some of the new advances that we're seeing with them?
Sure. It's so exciting to talk about new equipment because there have been so many great advances recently. I think one of the number one advances I'd like to say is the digital aspect of it. Living here in the Vail Valley, all of us want to always be outside. So how do we bring what's outside inside? And there's now, some free apps that you can download that allow you to track what you just did outside, and then today it's snowing too hard and too cold, like for me, and I want to replicate that inside. So whether I want to replicate that hike or that cycle, I can do that on some of these new pieces of equipment. And then speaking for some of the pieces of equipment, you know, there's some a treadmill. Some people think is just a treadmill, but now it's not. It's a sled push. It's a biofeedback. It's physical therapy. There's so much more to it. And so there are some unique treadmills, some cardio pieces out there, and then some functional pieces, some strength pieces that give you full rotational ability. So with pickleball and paddle, you know, all these paddle sports now, there's new equipment that actually offer that type of resistance and strength training all in one. So.
What's the best way for our viewers to learn about these pieces of equipment? Because I actually, in the gym that I belong to, it just turned over to Techno Gym. And it was fascinating because I really haven't spent any time learning about what those pieces are. So can you give viewers and me a tip about how to learn about that equipment fast and efficiently?
That's a tough one, but I think most every piece of new equipment out there has a QR. So now with COVID, everybody understands QR and how to scan themselves in. There's always a video to show you. So that is one way. But I always do think you should schedule an appointment with the gym, the personal trainers. I'm sure they have ways of introducing you and just giving you a highlight of, you know, download the app. It'll track your data. It'll help you. It'll create a workout for you, things like that. So every gym is so unique in the ways that they introduce people to equipment, and some gyms don't need equipment. You know, some people don't need the equipment. They need more of the hands-on. So it really is, I think, just finding that perfect spot for you that inspires you, motivates you to get going, and then working with the owners and the managers.
So if I could summarize, it's really the equipment. It can be a personal trainer once you learn how to use it and guide you. So I love that because I don't use it that way, and I need to learn that. Speaking of personal trainers, Dan, what type of equipment do you use, and how do you match that with your clients?
Absolutely. So we do have some of the pieces of equipment like you're speaking of where we're trying to use technology to bring the outdoors inside. So for our indoor cycling classes, we'll actually create an environment as if those participants are riding in the peloton in the Tour de France, right, as a way of just giving them some visual motivation. We have some big pieces of cardio equipment where we have treadmills that will go up to a 35% incline to simulate if someone's doing a skimo uphill race or to simulate if they're doing the uphill hike. But on the personal training side, we really focus on kind of getting away from some of the machines and getting to more of those free-form movement pieces of equipment so that we're replicating the movements people would go through in their day-to-day lives, like lifting up that suitcase to put it into the overhead bin.
So for our viewers and for me, can you clarify what you mean by freeform?
Sure. So I mean pieces of equipment that are not attached to a machine or not attached to the ground. So dumbbells, kettlebells, barbells for heavier weights. We even have something called a Y-bell, which is kind of like a combination between a dumbbell and a kettlebell.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
And so if I wanted to ski those bumps better, using the free form is probably the best way for me to try and figure out how to get my body.
That's absolutely right, because in some of our classes, we focus on getting people to that point of fatigue with fast movements and heavy free weights, and then immediately moving them into balance.
Okay.
So it's really challenging that athleticism.
Okay. All right, Sophia, you had mentioned about some of the trends in the new technology. Can you talk about some of the new innovative stuff that you're seeing in the marketplace right now?
Well,
you mentioned a treadmill that can also be like a sled push,
right?
Or sled pull.
There definitely are these options now. So there are some new performance treadmills that allow you, again, to replicate something, but also to say, I'm going to do 3 sled pushes at 50 pounds 5 times. And not only will that replicate that, but it'll give you the data that tells you how many watts you pushed, how fast you did it, so that you can hold yourself accountable as you did your first one, and then your second one and your third one. And then to add to it, it'll also give you some biofeedback, like, oh, you're a little left dominant, or your right side's a little weaker. So it is. Again, they can be used for performance, they can be used for physical therapy, and they can just be used for regular strength and cardio training. So those are some of the most unique new pieces that are out there now.
That's a lot of fun. I can't even imagine what it's like to do a sled push or pull on a treadmill. So I've got to find one of those.
We've got to go together.
Yeah, okay,
you'll
you'll
go
tell
do
me.
it. Yes.
You mentioned data, Sophia. So Dan, and being the elite athlete that you are, tell us about how you're using wearables and how you help your clients understand how to use wearables.
Absolutely. Funny that you should mention that because I have two of them on right now.
Oura Ring.
So the Oura Ring,
yeah.
and then also a Garmin Phoenix watch. And they have similar capabilities in terms of they track your sleep patterns so that you can see how many hours and what's the quality of sleep that you're getting. They'll track heart rate overnight, and they track, really importantly, heart rate variability. It's a measure of how an athlete is doing for rest and recovery. So if they have really low heart rate variability, it means their body is still stressed. If they have really high heart rate variability, it means that they're well recovered. But not only is it wearables like this, but the technology is advancing to where people are wearing CGM, so continuous glucose monitors.
Oh, you're kidding me.
That's right.
To understand the sugar, the effects of food in your body at the same time.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's fascinating.
There's a product out there called Super Sapiens, and so it's available in Europe right now. They're working to get North American approval for having it available without a prescription from a doctor. And there's an application on your phone that you can see in real time how your body reacts. So the way your body reacts to having a banana might be different from the way Sophia's body reacts to having a banana. And so seeing exactly what types of foods make your blood sugar spike and then drop, it's really useful for improving your diet.
Oh, that's awesome to hear. Wow. I've done a little work in the diabetes field in my own life, and it's just amazing how even people that aren't pre-diabetic, how we need to know about our sugars, regardless of how healthy we are. And so that's just fascinating how it's been integrated. And I guess intuitively I've known that since, you see the triathletes always, trying to figure out their diet, and they're following their sugars. So that's great.
Cece, I think you're probably the only one in the Vail Valley that doesn't have a wearable.
That's true.
I'm like, how do not just everybody have a wearable on them?
That's really true. Now, there's a reason why I'm not skiing the bumps on grouse the way I want them. Thanks, Sophia.
We all love data nowadays.
Yeah.
And so there's wearables and, the Garmin's, the Stravas, the Ruvies that allow you to track that Vail Pass ride that you just did and then go back and replicate it, or you see your elevation, see your heart rate. It's pretty exciting.
So, Sophia, you know the Valley very well, and you know all of the opportunities and resources that are here for individual or group opportunities. Can you just share with us, what is available from a gym perspective, a boutique, all sorts of those? And I know we have a schematic for that as well, a list, but tell us a little bit about how you see the Valley and who's here for us to...
Sure. The list will definitely show a variety, and I hope I included most everybody and everything that I have experience with. But I think I've mentioned before, it's about finding what really works for you. And so there are a plethora of opportunities. There's Dryland out of the Gravity House in Vail. There is a CrossFit in Vail. There's Dogma Athletica, there's in Edwards, and there's a new one in Edwards called Elevate that's going to be the first 24-hour gym available. There's the Weston, the athletic club at the Weston, which really does give you a variety of everything and a very plush, love experience, from the hot tub to the saunas into all cardio and group classes. But then you go down Valley even more and get to some Endorphin, which is another great club down Valley, along with some yoga and Pilates studios all over, from Synergy to Revolution, and some of the group classes they also have at Avon Rec and at the Weston as well. So there's just so much.
There is, and I can't thank you enough for putting that list together for us as well, because I think if I had that list when I moved in, it would have made it much easier for me to figure out where I want to go. So I want to thank the two of you so much for joining us, and to our viewers, listen, the reason why we live here, I believe, is because we want to enjoy the outdoors, and physical conditioning is truly the key to success.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
TV8 te brinda la mejor programación en español todos los días. Sintoniza Conexión Latina los lunes, miércoles y viernes a las 7 de la tarde con repeticiones los fines de semana. Además, te presentamos nuestro nuevo programa Sabores y Creaciones, donde hemos juntado tus recetas y manualidades favoritas en un solo lugar los martes y jueves a las 7 de la tarde. Y por último, disfruta de Daily Flash Latino, con noticias y entretenimiento en tendencia los sábados a las 7 de la tarde. Te esperamos por el canal 92 de Comcast, nuestra página de Facebook TV8 Conexión Latina, nuestro canal de YouTube TV8 Vail Good Morning Vail o nuestra página web tv8vail.com.
Coming up this season on Ready, Set, Renovate, we see one couple fall in love with a waterfront fixer-upper.
It sort of wrapped its arms around us and said, you want me, and we did.
And watch as another battles over the budget.
We're trying to look through and see where we can trim at this point.
Are you looking to trim it, Ginger?
No.
No.
Construction pros show us the right way to renovate.
Well, we had to do a roof over. We had to hand build a lot of the trusses.
As we're putting the thin set down, the self-leveler has a little clip that clips up underneath the edge of the tile.
Do you have an interesting hobby or skill you'd like to share for Vail Valley? We want to hear from you. We're looking for people to share their musical, artistic, culinary, woodworking, athletic, or technical talents on Good Morning Vail. If you'd like to share your talents with the community, email Danielle at tvavail.com. Join the community conversation. There's more for you on 92.
Daily Flash.
I'm Andrea Jackson.
I'm Mitch English, welcoming you to
Mitch English and Andrea Jackson have co-hosted together for over a decade. And now, only on Daily Flash, they serve up a fast, fun, fresh perspective on the day's trending news and entertainment. Daily Flash offers the latest in pop news, celebrity gossip, fashion, health, wellness, and even some unscripted, irreverent, who knows what's next fun. Daily Flash with Mitch English and Andrea Jackson, trending news and entertainment.
Good morning, Vail.
Vail fashionista and perch stylist Tamar Giorgazzi has been helping women express their personalities through fashion for years. And with a new boutique in town called Elliston, opened up by the same owners as Perch, Tamar is back to show us 3 must-have essentials as we move into warmer weather. First up, the chic pajama look. This matching set by Totem is not for sleeping. In fact, with the right styling, it can be worn just about anywhere.
Don't be afraid to bring this outfit in any big event, starting from weddings, starting from dinners, starting from, I don't know, business meeting. throw the jacket over, blazer over. Do the shoe, maybe instead of cream, I would do the black shoe and do like a black blazer and crossbody bag. We carry in Elliston, Stella McCarthy.
Next up, an elegant, versatile dress.
It is insanely impossible to make any woman don't look good at it. If you would like to bring a color in your closet and be trendy with a bold, cool dress in your closet, bring fun colored dress, which never disappoints you, good shape, good sculpture, good silhouette.
And lastly, an outfit featuring elevated basics.
Like this outfit is a great outfit itself. I have a Marni leather jacket and Marni white shirt, high-low. It's an amazing shirt. It's not buttoned down. It's just a cut on the middle. And features a little bit of differentiality considering that everybody already has button down. Again, have something different, show something different, and makes you look good.
There's so much to choose from at both Perch and Elliston, and the owner describes the difference between the two.
Elliston is more elevated. I've had customers say that, sort of the mom and the grandmom shop at Elliston, the daughter shop at Perch. Perch was really inspired by a more contemporary line of brands that tend to show a lot of prints, that tend to show a lot of patterns, that are more youthful designs.
She also explains to us the meaning of a certain understated style.
There is a concept called quiet luxury that's been sort of a trend for the past year, I would say, sort of started by some of the luxury designers like Brunello Cucinelli, where they really don't sell any prints. It's camels, it's grays, it's navies and blacks and ivories, and that's sort of what inspired Elliston. This store was really rooted in that whole concept of quiet luxury, beautiful fabrics, design that is based in craftsmanship. That whole color scheme has really struck a chord with customers because they love, just consider putting an ivory sweater on with an ivory pair of pants and some nude shoes. Like, you look like $1 million when you walk out of your house.
No matter what your aesthetic is, Tamar can help you put your entire look together. As some of you may remember, she even helped me step up my style not too long ago.
Tamar is really talented at what she does. I can't do what she does because she is so good at looking at a woman's body and pulling items that will make them look and feel like they're walking on water. Honestly, people love her because she is so passionate about what she does, and she's extremely talented about styling women from head to toe.
Tamar says no matter what your budget is, she's here to help you look and feel your best. For TV 8 in Vail, I'm Avisha Scarborough.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome to Street Magic. I'm Elizabeth Stanton with some of the most terrifying stunts, extraordinary extreme escapes, and the most amazing cutting-edge magicians you'll ever see in one show. Get ready to have your mind turned inside out. The hand is definitely quicker than the eye.
It's fake!
America was built on a love for the outdoors. We are a nation of sportsmen, blessed with magnificent natural resources. With broad interests across water and field, we are united in our devotion to nature and conservation. Join us every week for the best shows celebrating the outdoor lifestyle. Outdoor America. Live free.
Take the first game every one of us played in the schoolyard. Turn up the degree of difficulty to maximum, and then let loose some of the fastest and most agile athletes in the world to go one-on-one in what you have is the most extreme pursuit contest you've ever known. It's intense, it's addictive, and there's only one rule. Don't get caught.
Oh my gosh! If you haven't seen World Chase Tag before, here's how it works.
2 teams of up to 6 athletes compete in a series of one-on-one chases. Each chase lasts up to 20 seconds and has 1 chaser and 1 evader.
Opportunity to focus on the board! Oh!
Whoever wins the duel stays on as the evader, and teams get 1 point for each evasion they make.
And it looks like the opening point to this contest. And yes,
It's the best of 16 chases to win the match, with a sudden death chase-off required to break any ties. It's win or go home from now on. Don't miss it.
I'm Amy Goodman, host of Democracy Now! Our independent news hour offers diverse perspectives and unique opinions, often unheard in the mainstream media, live as the news unfolds. Tune in for Democracy Now!, the War and Peace Report, weekday mornings at 9 and evenings at 6 on TV8 Vail, Comcast Xfinity Channel 92. There's more for you on Channel 92.
Hi, it's Master TV8 Vail. We want to invite you all to the Wacky Winter Reading Program. It's open to all ages. All you have to do is read 10 books or 1,000 pages. For more information, go on our website, tv8vail.com. And thank you to our sponsor, the Eagle Valley Library District.
Good morning, Vail.
We love Covered Bridge and our partnership with them. They had a conversation with Donaldson Coaching all about how you can really push yourself to the limits.
Hi everyone, welcome to Covered Bridge on TV8. I'm Kim Fuller, Editor-in-Chief of Covered Bridge Magazine.
I'm Bobby LaRue, the Director of Partnerships at Covered Bridge Magazine, and today we have the pleasure of sitting down with Brett and Tam Donaldson of Donaldson Coaching.
Hi,
thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for being here. So Brett and Tam are also the co-founders of The Cycle Effect, which is a very well-known nonprofit here in Eagle County, and have the pleasure of working with a lot of athletes. And so the article that we worked with them on in the abundance issue of Covered Bridge is called There's No I in Athlete. And I had the pleasure of working with Donaldson Coaching for the summer months in running and mountain biking mostly to train. And so it's really reflection on why I believe and have found, and also by interviewing the two of you, why it's important to have a coach in this process. So give us a little background on your fitness, your athleticism. I know you both participate in a lot of races throughout the year here locally and around the country. So Tam, why don't you start with a little bit of background on you?
Ski school was kind of where I started and what brought me over here. So skiing is something that I love to do. And then when we got married, America was going to be like our home base. So I would follow the winters, and clearly then I had 4 seasons in a year, which was kind of novel, and I didn't know what to do with myself in the summer because I'm so used to being next to an ocean. Long story, got a bike. First experience on a mountain bike was awful, but ended up falling into triathlon. Then that turned into Xterra triathlon. I guess strong legs, skiers' legs. I happen to have a good advantage at riding. Loved that. Got reasonably competitive at that. Started racing pro. That just turns into a full-time job if you want to keep going with it. And then started personal training at the Western. And in amongst that, we've always been like training people outside of that don't quite know how to structure their training. And consistently from there, mountain bike races, running races. Then we got into longer races of like the Breck Epic, so 3-day to 5-6 day stage races, which was fun because that was something that we could do together. People thought we were crazy, but it worked out great. And it was a lot of fun.
You really have the experience in all those different types of racing to help an athlete.
Yeah.
How about you, Brett?
I mean, I was a college athlete, but I call myself a mediocre athlete. So when Tam got into triathlon and stuff like that, I wanted to ride bikes as well. So I really kind of took a back seat for a few years as she was doing that, which was awesome because she got to really develop into that athlete, and now we have life partners that like to do these things all the time. So When I turned 40, I basically decided I wanted to be able to do these events for the next 20, 30 years if I choose. And so it's really, I've kind of restructured how I view athletics. I didn't really enjoy it in my 30s very much. There's a pressure, and I thought I should be able to do X, Y, Z. And now it's just like, I get to be out there. It's super fun. It's hard. It's challenging. But so now I spend time riding and running in the VRD series. I mean, that's like, it's a great series. I love how they put on their events. It's super casual. It's easy. Like, I don't know why more people don't do it. It's here. It's a great challenge. And then now that they've got winter, skimo races and stuff like that, I do those. I don't have anything huge on my schedule, but besides those right now, but I'm sure we'll find another 5 or 10 races to do this summer outside of that series.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Great.
yeah.
Yeah, so there's no I in athlete, there's no I in team. I love the title of all of that. But when it comes to coaching, when or why would someone necessarily get a coach?
Sure.
Because I question that myself as being an athlete, and then watching her go through it. What's the start, and then what can one expect, I guess?
Yeah, I think for me, it all boils down to you hire a coach so you don't make emotional choices. Whether you're feeling great and you keep going and going and going and you overload your system too much, or you're feeling awful and you decide, I'm not going to work out today, when really that was just a mental block and you could be out there doing stuff. So for many athletes, especially in this valley, we're pulling them back on the effort they put in. They think they need to be a world champion, or their next door neighbor was an ex-world champion and they try to train like them. It's like, that's not how you should do it. So we manage people's time and we manage people's emotions around their training a lot. And then, of course, there's skill development, there's race strategy, there's all these other things, but you can read about that in books a lot of the time, but a lot of it is, for me, just managing the person so that they are set up to do the things they want to do, whether that's a 5K, whether that's a 100-mile run, bike races, whatever.
Yeah, so essentially removing some of those roadblocks of like, I'm too tired, or like you said, I need to put in another 10 miles today.
Yes.
No.
This valley generally goes too hard. And our mountain towns, right? I mean, we're all like super enthusiastic about it. We generally go too hard for too much time, of the time you have allotted to training.
So many fun things to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I'm sure you've worked with, and I know you have worked with a range of athletes. I mean, with the Cycle Effect, you're working with young teenage girls on mountain bikes, and then all the way up to, I don't know how old your oldest client is, but they all have different goals and different skills. So Tam, how do you balance that when you work with an individual athlete, and you might be doing one thing with one and another thing with another, and so how do you create a plan specifically?
And I think individual is where the coach comes in, because someone who's 21, I mean, they can do a lot of volume and a lot of intensity. As I age myself, I notice the difference at 40, late 40s. I can't put in the same intensity, so it's kind of balancing when those are, making sure that the athlete that you have, depending on whatever age they're at, that you're balancing recovery, because it's the more you are good about your recovery, the more sessions you can actually fit in. And whether you've got a mother who is like, hey, I got 45 minutes, and that's it. So how do we make the most of that? And then somebody else who maybe has a little bit more relaxed schedule. So you can always find like a PDF or something to follow in a book or on paper, by, I think, customizing it to your life. I was actually just talking with an athlete the other day, and they love ticking the boxes. And every now and then there has to be a little bit of coach-athlete communication, even on those days, that if you're not feeling that great, reach out and be like, okay, maybe we need to tweak this. It sounds like you might be starting to get sick and we need to back things off a little bit. I think that's important, because a lot of the time you just ignore, think I should, do all of this.
Yeah, the quote from the article, There's No I in Athlete, in this current issue that Tam provided reads, "It's hard to look at ourselves objectively. A coach can customize a training plan that fits your work, family, and social schedules. A coach accelerates your progress by helping you make the best use of your time. We're here for a good time, not a long time. Let's work on things that are going to make the most gains.
Yeah.
Love that.
And I would add one more thing. I think that having one pretty good plan is much better than having 4 excellent plans. Because 4 excellent plans, people are picking what they want to do and they're skipping the things they don't want to do. And so I don't think you need to hire the most accomplished, world-renowned coach in the entire world. You need to hire somebody that you resonate with, that kind of understands your sport that you want to get into and stuff like that. But really, you need to commit to that person for maybe 6 months or something like that. Like if somebody comes to me and says, Brett, I want you to write me a plan for a month, I'm like, I have no desire to do that, because I know that it doesn't really move the needle very much. And so I think hiring one person or finding a book and saying like, this is the book I'm going to commit to and stuff like that, that's better than 4 excellent plans, because people just, we're so unfocused, and we see something on Instagram, we're like, oh, I'm going to go do that too. It's like, maybe we shouldn't do all of the things because we just don't have the time.
Yeah, as someone who got to kind of watch the coaching and participate as the significant other, it was interesting to see the days that you made sure Kim had recovery. Because on those days, generally prior to the coaching plan, she would have still gone out and done something. But then the other days where it was like these pain cave type interval sessions, it's really difficult, I would say personally, to force myself to do that without a plan.
Yep.
And again, I was not necessarily on the plan, but I was on the plan following her. And some of those days, yeah, they are rough. And I also think what I noticed was a couple times during her training, you would be like, you are getting fatigued. Back off. Today you don't need to do the full workout, or you don't need to always be an A student if you're not feeling well. And I think that to me was, again, as the outsider looking in, was the most valuable part of it.
Yeah.
Because it is easy to just like you said, do the things that really feel good and then ignore the things that don't, and then also not recover because you're like, oh, well, I want to go skiing today, or I want to do this. And it's like Brett or Tam would put in like absolutely nothing today.
Yeah.
And Kim would have to,
Well,
by that.
and I'm the same, like, I know all the things, but I still get caught in that trap where, so if this was the first year ever that I asked Tam to be my coach, right? After like 20 years where we should not coach each other. It's not good for us. I said, you know what? You know me better than ever. You know my goals better than anybody else. And so I would walk into the kitchen some mornings and I'm like, I am exhausted. And she's like, oh, you should take the day off. Or things like that. And so everybody needs a sounding board on some level. And I think that's really what the coach is. And they're not also going to be that sounding board friend that just says oh, you're just, take the week off. Or you're feeling there's some accountability because they want to see you hit your results. But they also know
you're meant to be fatigued today, suck it up. This is 2
yeah.
days of intensity because we're building for a certain thing. You're meant to not feel great today, but that's the point of this training. So, to his point, it's really hard to be objective, and it takes the decision-making process out of it, and it takes the pressure off the individual of I don't have to decide what to do today. That you just wake up, you look at your plan, and go. So that can free up an enormous amount of time, but also mental space for somebody. They can just be at ease, not be thinking am I doing the right thing? I'm not sure. Somebody else is taking care of that.
Yep.
Go ahead.
No, I just love the fact that you brought up, because I was going to ask that question, coaches get coaches, right?
Absolutely.
And I think
Totally.
not just you guys, I've heard it from fitness instructors in town that have their own coaches, right? And we look up to you as a coach, but it's pretty awesome that you take your own prescribed medicine.
For sure. And I think that's with business, that's with anything. With the Cycle Effect, I have, 10 to 20 mentors. I am calling them all the time, being hey, I don't know what to do here. What should I do? And stuff like that. So I think that everybody should have a coach or a mentor in their major walks of life, whether it's relationships or work or whatever. So I'm a firm believer, and I am not the smartest guy in the room, and I need to ask a lot of questions.
Yeah.
So
I like that.
I was about to say there's no I in life, but there is an I in life. So,
I'm glad, as an editor of a magazine, you are able to figure this out. Yes.
Yeah. So let's talk briefly about the Cycle Effect. I mean, this was the 10-year anniversary of the nonprofit. Which does that feel like it's gone really quickly, or is it? I'm just
depends on the day.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I think that. So the Cycle Effect, real quick, is high school, middle school girls in 4 different counties, Mesa County, Routt County, Eagle, and Summit. And we help them ride and race mountain bikes and go to college, is like the real short elevator pitch. We focus on working with BIPOC communities, which here is mostly the Latina community. And we provide everything they could possibly need. It's a year-round program. It's amazing. And going back to the 10 years, like, I can honestly say we love what we do. Is it super challenging sometimes? Of course, like anything that's worth doing. But we love the relationships we've built. We love the community that we've built, and our staff and things like that. And so, Tam and I started it 10 years ago, and we're still going strong. So we're looking at potential new growth in the coming year to 2, and we're redefining things. We're always evolving how we do things, because we know that what worked 4 years ago doesn't work now. So we're always growing.
Awesome. Well, it's been a pleasure, number one, learning from you guys, from the coaching aspect. It's been a pleasure watching the Cycle Effect grow and having you guys in our community, and we really appreciate everything that you bring to this lovely valley, and now many other valleys in the state of Colorado. So thank you guys so much for being here.
Yeah.
And we'll let you guys know how you can reach out to Brett and Tam if you're interested in training with them, or have people that might be interested in the Cycle Effect programming.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Definitely check out Donaldson Coaching and the Cycle Effect. And thank you for watching Covered Bridge on TV8.
Enjoy the journey.
Good morning, Vail.
Eyepieces of Vail has been a fixture in the Vail community for over 30 years. From designer frames and sunglasses to high-performance sports frames, prescription goggles, and in-demand accessories like helmets, goggle lenses, and foldable reading glasses, our inventory raises the optical bar. Visit one of our 7 locations today and see why generations of loyal customers return time after time for our unmatched service and inventory. Eyepieces, the art of vision.
One of the longest-running syndicated television series is back, America's Black Forum, a weekly series highlighting the latest in our lifestyles, business, entertainment, and finance. We introduce you to entrepreneurs who are making their mark in the business world and leaders who are fighting for change.
Welcome to America's Black Forum.
Tune in each week to know what's happening in our world today on America's Black Forum.
For fun and adventure, join me on Elizabeth Stanton's Great Big World. Find out where I'll be going next and which celebrities I'll be bringing along with me. I'll show you amazing destinations with lots to explore, and you'll get to know my celebrity guests the way they really are, up close and personal. We'll travel the world, experience new cultures, and together, try to make a difference. I'm Elizabeth Stanton, saying the world's a big place, and I'm going to show it to you.
It's time for the best coverage of the top stories in sports. The Sports Wrap with Jason Page starts now.
How do you make Anthony Edwards the face of your franchise if you're the Minnesota Timberwolves? We'll get into that.
And we say hello to our good friend Matt Verderam, who hangs out with us from SI.com. Their NFL insider, one of them, is hanging out with us on the program today. Did you see Caitlin Clark last night? She put up a 40-burger. Hits the game-winning 3 as time expires. Let's turn our attention to the Denver Broncos, one of the NFL's most dysfunctional situations.
The Sports Wrap with Jason Page.
Hello, everyone. I'm Raisa Pascal.
And I'm Andrea Jackson. Welcome to Life, Love, Shopping. Have any personal stories you can share?
Do I? Yes, I do.
So even though you work for some good deals, too good to miss on flash deals now. Check this out.
Studies show spending time outdoors can help with depression, lowering blood pressure, and overall health and happiness.
Are you looking for exciting and nutritious recipes to cook at home? Watch Colorful Cooking with Tracy Miller on TV8 Vail. Tracy brings you the best in fresh and healthy foods for the active outdoor lifestyle. Stream online at tv8vail.com or find us on Comcast Xfinity Channel 92. There's more for you on 92. You're watching K34QB.
Welcome back to the show. We are at the top of our 8 o'clock hour. It is Thursday, April 18th. Joining me in the studio for the second hour is Ross Leonhardt. And boy, we have a fun one. Ross and I are taking a childhood cereal favorite and turning it into chicken tenders. So I cannot wait to make that in the kitchen, plus a homemade honey mustard sauce. And then we've got TEDx Vail here in studio. All of that and more. So let's get started with hour 2.
Get up, get ready to start your day. The mountains are calling you out to play. Come on, we'll make you feel right at home. Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
Man, we're just taking a look at that weather, and we've got some interesting weather coming up, huh?
That's how it goes this time of year.
It really is, especially because we're at the end of the season, and I'm quite sad. You know, we had Beaver Creek closing weekend last weekend.
Yeah, it was.
What do you think?
It's Beaver Creek's one of the best closing days around. Lots of fun, saw lots of people, but bittersweet to say goodbye.
It is bittersweet to say goodbye. You know, if you're local, there's secret parties that happen all over the
That's
mountains.
it.
So
That's it.
Lots of fun. You know, we got out and I would have to say, like, it was slushy, but I still had a blast.
Yeah, those conditions have been great through the end of the season, and then more snow that came in early in the week, right?
It's true.
So
Just in time to keep Vail extended through their closing weekend this upcoming weekend.
this weekend, and lots going on around that. There's some live music Friday over at Golden Peak, and then closing day on Sunday. So going to be a fun one.
It really is. You know, unpopular opinion, I almost prefer a slush day over powder day. Almost. Unpopular opinion.
Yeah, I mean, this time of year we'll take what we can get. But yeah, it's been a great end of the season after kind of a slow start. So
It's true.
It's been
Yeah.
fun.
So what was it like for you as a snowboarding instructor at Beaver Creek?
So yeah, this was my first year as an instructor up there. Had a blast. So cool kind of sharing this sport that we all do and love with other people. And I'm kind of a nerd about it, so it's fun to do this, like learn the science behind snowboarding. So had a blast up there. I think I'm at like 125 days on a snowboard this year, 130 or something. So
I won't even tell you what I'm at compared to you.
So it was
significantly
a lot of fun.
less.
A lot of fun. A couple more days left at Vail, but slowly switching gears here.
That's great.
Today I'm going to go hit Vail after Good Morning Vail, and then got a tea time down in Eagle at 3 p.m. So
it's
ski and tea days right now.
That's the best, and I'm so excited to be able to do that. You know, I'm ready for the warmer weather, but not ready to hang up my board yet.
No.
But we've got a lot happening in the show. Excited because we're taking a childhood favorite and turning it into another childhood favorite meal.
I love all the ingredients here. I love everything that's happening in the kitchen right now.
Yeah, we're going to have a blast. So lots of kitchen stuff, lots of TEDx Vail. Cannot wait. It's going to be a good second hour of the show. So we'll be right back after this quick break.
Good morning, Vail.
Think Big features top kid inventors who face off against each other to see who can come up with the most innovative and creative invention. In Think Big, kids acquire and showcase their skills in creativity, science, marketing, design, and don't forget, teamwork. Check your local listings and watch the world's most innovative kids. They create and invent new toys, games, websites, and new modes of transportation. Tune in to Think Big.
Stevie Lee Woods presents Nashville Roadhouse Live, where country meets rock and roll.
It's where I drank my first beer, where I found Jesus, where I wrecked my first car, I tore it all to pieces.
Join us every week for more live performances right here on Nashville Roadhouse Live.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Hi there! Are you ready to explore famous neighborhoods from New York City to Kentucky? Watch The Neighborhood with host Nicole Newman. Featuring famous people, unique history, and delicious places to eat and drink. Our viewers get an inside personal look at each neighborhood. With each episode we learn, grow, laugh, and live like a local, not just a visitor. Welcome to The Neighborhood. Check your local program schedule and tune in.
Learn the latest in science each week and how it relates to everyday life. From space exploration to plant biology to the latest in high-tech advances. Every new scientific development is explored and explained in an understandable way. Amazing stories each week. Watch Science Now.
Daily Flash Latino. Designed for the American Latino audience, Daily Flash Latino hosts Jessica Reyes and Fabian Marcano deliver their fresh perspective on the latest entertainment news, celebrity gossip, fashion, health, and more in both English and Spanish, aka Spanglish. Daily Flash Latino builds, connects, and celebrates the diverse Hispanic audience. Daily Flash Latino, trending news and entertainment with a splash of Spanglish.
Good morning, Vail.
So we're in the kitchen.
Yes.
Love the kitchen. I love the ingredients that we have here because who doesn't love cereal in the morning? Do you have a favorite childhood cereal?
I'm a big cereal guy.
Yeah?
So picking
No
one is tough.
discrimination?
Yeah, no, I'm a big Life cereal,
Yeah.
Cheerio guy.
Did you ever go to Planet Hollywood when you were a kid?
No, not really.
Okay, well, I did. And when I went, they have these Captain Crunch chicken tenders on their menu.
All right.
So we're going to make our own version of it.
All right.
Because who doesn't love cereal and a good chicken tender?
Gosh.
So, yeah, Captain Crunch chicken tenders are my favorite. At least they were when I was a kid. So hopefully they turn out just as good as they did as I remember eating them as a kid. But great and easy ingredients. So you can kind of play and mix and match with this if you want to. We've got cereal, Captain Crunch, obviously. And then if you wanted to add a little bit of extra and not use just the Captain Crunch, you can add some panko breadcrumbs to it.
Awesome.
And then as always, salt and pepper, a little bit of egg. If you wanted to add some flour, you can, but we're not going to. We're just going to do straight up egg wash, and then we're going to dip it into the delicious batter that we're about to make. So pretty great, pretty easy. We have our oven preheated, 450 degrees. So you want to put it at a high temperature because it basically like really crisps it up. Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Ross, I'm putting you on cereal duty.
Let's do this.
And we need about 2 cups of Captain Crunch cereal. And one of the best ways you can crunch it up is with a rolling pin or a cup or a food processor. But we're going to keep it simple. We're going to do about 2 cups of it, pouring it into a bag. And then Ross, you get to go to town on the cereal and crunching it up.
So no crunch berries though.
No,
Just
I mean, we could have done crunch berries. I thought about that, but you know, we're going classic today.
All berries.
Yeah, there you go. So we've got about a pound of chicken tenders. You can either buy them at the store as breasts and then cut them up, or you can just make it easy and get the chicken tenders already made into tenders or already from the tenders, so it's just easy. But we got about a pound of them. You can make them smaller if you wanted to make it into chicken nuggets, which we could do. I don't know. We'll see. Or we can just keep it as a chicken tender. But really easy. So we're gonna. Ross is crunching up the Captain Crunch, as you can see. He's just kind of beating it. You know, it's okay if like the bag breaks a little bit. Whatever. We'll clean it up later. But I'm gonna go ahead and take about 2 eggs, and we're going to create like an egg bath for these chicken tenders. So always good, and my mom always yells at me at this, but you should crack the egg outside of the dish that you're using it for, because you don't want to get shells in it and have to fish them out, right?
That makes sense.
It does make sense. So I'm going to go ahead and just crack my egg on our cutting board here. We've got 1 egg in there, and I'll add extra. I like to make sure, I don't never want to be too short of the egg wash that we'll be using. And then always fun, I'm going to throw this one out, jumping around to your eyes.
Come on down.
All right. So Captain Crunch is looking pretty fire, you know, looking great there. So we're going to go ahead and crack the other egg, and then I'll put that in here. Now, there are a couple of ways you can really bread a chicken tender or a chicken nugget. And some of that is you can put flour on it first, then you put it in the egg wash, and then you put it in the batter, which we can do. It just gives it a little bit of extra coating to it, so the breading is, you know, the outside crust.
All
is really
I know
good.
is wet hand, dry hand.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You have 1 for each?
Yes, 1 for each.
So that you don't cross?
Exactly. All right, so we've got Captain Crunch is looking good, and if you need to crush it up a little bit more, you can always do that, but I think it looks pretty good.
Oh, all
What do you
right. I
think?
thought that was a subtle hint
No,
for me
not
to
at
crush
all.
it up a little
What
bit
do you
more.
think? It's up
There's
to you.
some chunky pieces and
Your
some non-chunky
discretion, right?
pieces.
And then we're gonna, once you're kind of done with that, we'll add about a cup of panko breadcrumbs. And then in my handy dandy kitchen bag, I've got some flour. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab that. We've got some garlic powder as well. All of this, the seasonings. So what I'm gonna do with this flour is just put it on a plate, just like this. And we're gonna spread it around. You don't really need a lot, but I brought some extra just in case. But we'll just spread it around, because we're gonna take the chicken, put it into the flour, then we're gonna put it into the egg wash, and then into the mixture. So it's, you know, it's a little bit of a process here, but not too bad. I'm telling you, Ross, you're gonna be an expert cook by the end of this year.
You're speaking my language on this one.
I can already feel it. And then you're just gonna stir all of that up together. So we'll move our eggs out of here. And then you need to have a baking dish, and we can either line it with parchment paper or foil if you've got either one of those, and we do. We have both. So what do you prefer, parchment or foil?
Foil.
Foil. All right, we're doing foil. Here we go. All right, we've got the foil. So I'm going to give this to you to line it up, and just line our tin, and then we'll mix all of this around. You could do straight Captain Crunch. It'll be extra sweet. Personally, I don't like things super, super sweet, because we're going to make a fairly sweet honey mustard sauce to go with it. So, you know, kind of balancing out a little bit.
These are all my favorite things.
Well, good. I'm glad. You know, it's a Thursday. We want to be fueled up good for the mountain today.
That's it.
You know, a little protein, a little bit of deliciousness, a little bit of sweet. I think that's it's treat yourself end of ski season week, in my opinion. Awesome. So the Captain Crunch looks good. Everything looks great there. All right, this is the fun part. Which one what do you want to deal with? Ross is like, I don't want to get my hands dirty.
You tell me. What are we doing?
Well, we're going to go ahead, and we've got our chicken here. So I'm going to dip it into these things, and then I'm just going to throw it here, and you can use a fork if you want to
Okay.
stick them on there, or use your hands.
Okay.
Whatever you want. So we've got our chicken tenders. We can trim them up a little bit if we wanted to, and I think I'm going to actually trim some of this up just to make it look good. Do we want to make these nuggets, or do we want to
Let's do nuggets.
Let's do nuggets.
Let's do nuggets.
All right, so we're going to do nuggets. So best part of doing a nugget, you can use a better knife than this, but you just kind of cut your chicken tenders into chunks just like that. Easy, right?
Easy.
Awesome. So we're going to put a few in here. Just cover it in this flour, just like that. Now, if you really wanted to be special and fancy, you could put some garlic powder and salt and pepper into your flour mix if you wanted to. But we might just put a little bit on at the end. So if you actually, what do you think? Should we put it into the mix?
Yeah, why not?
Go ahead. I'm going to let you do that, Ross. Just put some salt and pepper, whatever you feel like is good. It really doesn't matter. Let me trim up a couple more of these chicken tenders
here.
You can put it in the Captain Crunch mix. Why
Okay.
not? Yeah, we'll do it that way. You know, you can never do too much or too little. So I'm going to trim up this chicken. It's always trimming chicken is not my favorite thing to do. But it is what it is. You know, sometimes you just got to do it. All right, we're trimming it. It's looking good. All right, we've got a couple of these nuggets. I can hear the oven sizzling. Do you hear that?
Is this a breakfast food or is this a dinner food?
I think it's a brunch food.
Oh, okay. I like that.
I don't know. What's your opinion? To me, chicken tenders are good any time of the day. You know, I'm a big fan. So, especially if they're made with Captain Crunch, and then you can really do it anytime you want to. Awesome. So we're just going to keep on doing that, and then looks good to me, Ross. That looks great.
Okay.
Awesome. So we'll go ahead and
Let me
start
just throw
our
that
egg.
down.
Yeah, just throw that down. We'll start the egg wash on our. There we go. All right, we've started the egg wash with our batter here. So I'm just going to take. This looks good. I'll just put a little bit in here. Just kind of toss it around. I'm going to put this in here now. If you want to, just kind of do a light coating.
Okay.
And then we'll just drop it into the Captain Crunch mix. Yeah, there you go. Look at you, Ross. I'm so proud.
Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. Okay. Okay.
All right.
And then we're going into the
Let me help you out with
Okay.
it. So what you can do, and obviously we will wash our hands thoroughly
Of
after
course.
this recipe. And then we'll just kind of toss it around there.
All right.
Yep. Looking great.
I lost it. Where'd it go?
Exactly. All right.
And then straight on the pan?
And then straight on the pan. There we go. Awesome. Got a little bit of egg wash in there.
That's okay.
My hands. Oh
That's
no.
okay.
It's always fun putting people in the kitchen, I think.
Yeah.
It makes for fun activities. You know, a long time ago, I used to hate cooking in front of people. But here we
And
are.
look at you now.
And look at me now. Now I'm doing it on TV with people that don't cook all
And
the time.
doing great. And you're
and
leading the
he's
charge.
doing excellent. My sous chef here today is just on fire. I can feel it.
All right, let's get these moving.
Yeah, we'll just get them moving just like that. Honestly, it's pretty simple. You know, you want to bake these for about 15 to 20 minutes. So really excited because when we come back from, well, at some point during our show, we're going to pull them out of the oven and show you how to make a really delicious and easy homemade honey mustard sauce.
I love honey
It's not
mustard.
just honey and not just mustard, FYI. There's some secret tricks to it to give it a little bit of extra tangy
like
flavor.
that.
We love that a lot. Looking great, Ross. You're doing a good job.
This looks good.
It's going to be great. I can feel it. All right, I'm going to trim up a few more pieces of chicken tenders here, and then we're going to pop whatever we've got in the oven, and we're just going to rock and roll. How's that sound?
That sounds so good.
Yeah, sounds great. So, yeah, I don't know. I think chicken and waffles really kind of changed the game as far as like having chicken tenders for breakfast.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think the real judges are Nick and Ben here, our camera guys.
It's
We'll
true.
see.
You know, every recipe I make, and I think I've said this recently, I hope that Nick likes it.
If we can please Nick.
If we can please Nick, you know, we've had a good day
We've
on the
done
show.
it right. Got a long day of work ahead of him.
Awesome. Well, we're going to keep on dredging our chicken in the flour mixture, the egg batter, and the Captain Crunch. Then we're going to pop it all into the oven. We'll cook it for about 15 minutes, and then we're going to come back later in the show and show you and taste it, what we can do with it. So we'll be right back after this.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome aboard. Bobby Laurie and Nikki Noya have your ticket to everything you need for an on-the-go lifestyle. Grab your boarding pass. It's time to jet set.
Hello, I'm Shervin Rezai here with Chenna Garden in Avon, Colorado. My hobbies are obviously skiing. I've been skiing since I was 3 years old. In addition to that, music's always been my first passion, and you can see that alive and well at Chenna Garden with our little record nook, where we have over 300 records, and we'll continue to grow that collection and play vinyl records for you while you enjoy your cuisine. Chenna Garden is Avon's oldest running restaurant. We've been open since 1988 when my mother set up shop and wanted to begin offering Avon, Colorado, the best quality Chinese food that we could get. And I started working in the restaurant when I was 8 years old as a dishwasher, making $1 a day. And then one of the servers, pushed by my dad, told me I should ask for a raise. and then I got $5 a day, but then I had to put all $25 at the end of the week into a savings account, which actually helped me out in college. So after college, I went out to New York for law school, and I spent 15 years out in New York City practicing law and working in-house, which exposed me to a lot of restaurants all over the world, all over the country. And after getting exposure like that, I realized that we have this beautiful restaurant here that has so much potential. So in the fall of 2023, we came back, remodeled, and tried to get this back to give that special feel that I've known all my life here. We've been offering a lot of new cuisines, including German cuisine with our good family friend Gunther Schmidt, who's been serving up authentic German cuisine in the Valley for many, many decades. Why not? This is America. We can serve German food in a Chinese restaurant, and we just let it try. And after a year of it, it's been building up some success, and we're just having a lot of fun just seeing the look of bewilderment on every customer when they're like, how am I getting German food in a Chinese restaurant that's this good at this quality? China Garden is really all about that community, and that first starts with the local community. We always try to take care of all of us who are working hard, grinding it, so that we can also enjoy what this valley has to offer. And through that, we get a nice mix of word of mouth, tourists who come in. We're looking for something a little more authentic and that has a history with the valley. I'm a proud member of the Avon Vail Valley community, lifelong member as I was born here, and I hope you come out and see us here at China Garden. We're open every day, 4 to 9, any day the mountain's open. Cheers.
Good morning, Vail.
When it comes to ski fashion, Diane Boyer, the president of Skea, a locally owned ski brand, has seen many trends through the years, and she even has a favorite decade.
I would say it was the 80s. It was so fun and exciting, and everybody was wearing it, from Ivanka Trump, no politics here, just saying, lots of fur headbands and stretch bottom suits and big blousey tops, as I say, shoulder pads and colors and brocade fabrics.
Having worked in the family business since the 70s as it evolved from ski mare to Skea, she remained at the forefront of ski fashion. But as a former professional skier, she knows that functionality is as important as the aesthetic.
The true ski clothing companies make sure that they actually function, because no matter who in our case, the lady is, if you're going up the chairlift in Vail, and it's a snowy day, and you're not warm, dry, and comfortable, you're not going to be happy. So it has to work, but it has to be really pretty and look good on the snow as well. Or après at the bar.
Diane showed me a preview of next season's designs and explained to me how being eco-conscious is very important for Skea. So their faux down filling is made from recycled water bottles.
They take the water bottles and somehow reconstitute them, and it makes a very soft, puffy insulation similar to down. The difference is when this imitation down gets wet, it does not lose its loft.
And I even got a chance to test the merchandise by trying on this show-stopping outfit. Looking back through Skea's memorabilia, it's clear that skiing is so much more than just a hobby or business for Diane. It's a lifestyle, and one that helped her form a special bond with her late mom, Jocelyn Boyer.
That's me and my mom.
Her mom was a co-founder of Skea and a very integral part of Diane's life. So I asked her to share a story about her mom, and in this case, it also involved ski legend Billy Kidd.
We had a commemorative event the other day in Vail for the Colorado Ski Museum, which is one of my other passions. And Billy was there with his cowboy hat on, and he was always so kind. And when my mother would be watching my daughter's race up in Steamboat, Billy would come and sit with her. Her name was Jocelyn, and he would say, "Well, Jocelyn, you don't have to go out there and get cold. You can stay right in here in the lodge at Howison Hill." And when I mentioned that to Billy the other day, when I saw him, he said, "Diane, your mother was one of the most wonderful ladies in the world. And if I could be half the lady that my mother was, I would be blessed." So you ask, is there anything I'd like to share? I just think everybody, no matter what industry they're in, needs to be their very best at all times and on all fronts.
And what would your mother say about you now?
I think she'd be pretty proud.
Diane's lifelong love of skiing is something she shared with her mom and is something she will always cherish.
You get out in the mountains on a beautiful, clear day, and you look out at those mountains, and you're going along a ridge line or whatever, or maybe you're skinning up and you're panting, but you're breathing and you're enjoying the world. It gives me goosebumps every time I think about it or every time I talk about it. It takes whatever bad things are in your mind and they just go away.
And what a gift that is. For TV8 in Vail, I'm Avisha Scarborough.
Good morning, Vail.
It's time for the best coverage of the top stories in sports. The Sports Wrap with Jason Page starts now.
How do you make Anthony Edwards the face of your franchise if you're the Minnesota Timberwolves? We'll get into that.
And we say hello to our good friend Matt Verderam, who hangs out with us from SI.com. Their NFL insider, one of them, is hanging out with us on the program today. Did you see Caitlin Clark last night? She put up a 40-burger, hits the game-winning three as time expires. Let's turn our attention to the Denver Broncos, one of the NFL's most dysfunctional situations.
The Sports Wrap with Jason Page. From small towns to big cities and everywhere in between, we're covering the great things that are happening right now in the USA. This is Positively America with Ernie Anastas.
Each week, we're going to focus on the great things that are happening every day in the USA. We'll feature change makers.
In every older person, there's a younger person saying, "How did this happen?"
Innovators.
I talk about design the way some people might talk about like the person they're in love with.
Doers and dreamers.
You can use that recognition to pay it forward.
Ordinary Americans accomplishing extraordinary things.
When you smile, you receive one back most of the time.
We're going to prove to you that optimism and hope are paving the way to an even brighter tomorrow.
We've got a lot of programs that are specifically focused on the children of our fallen heroes.
At Positively America, our mission is to feature good news.
For the latest and greatest trends in pop entertainment, Popstar Today brings you compelling celebrity lifestyle stories that matter most to you. From movies, music, TV, and streaming shows, to fashion, social media influencers, and the latest on who is seeing who. Join host Elizabeth Stanton as she digs deep and dives in. This is Popstar Today.
Eight-time Emmy-nominated Animal Rescue is a half-hour television series showcasing the heroic efforts of people helping animals. Join host and award-winning journalist Alex Payne and the Animal Rescue camera crew as they travel around the world, capturing dramatic rescues, rehabilitation, and relocation stories. For programming schedule, check your local listings today. Don't miss your favorite episodes of Animal Rescue.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. Joining us on the couch this morning, we have Kat with TEDx Vail, who has a huge event coming up April 28th. It's a Sunday. Kat, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.
How are you?
I'm stoked. I am like drenched in TED and TEDxness.
Yeah, and I understand you're curating moments before going on air this morning.
Right now, TED conference is happening in Vancouver, Canada. For 2024, a couple thousand people are gathered there, and the talks this year are truly breathtaking.
Yeah, amazing. And I know TED is celebrating 40 years this year, and TEDx Vail celebrating 15 years of bringing these kinds of stories to our community. Can we go back a little bit? We have the event on Sunday, April 28th, but this past Sunday, we had TEDx Vail Youth. How did that event go?
It was stunning. We had 5 international speakers talking about aquaculture, sequestration, growth mindset, AI in art and education. We had 5 local speakers talking about some really angst-producing things that teens are dealing with: suicide, death, where they fit in. Yeah, it was really a powerful TEDx Vail Youth.
Yeah, amazing. And some of those kids, like you said, their stories are so powerful. And I think the biggest thing, people think they're going through this stuff alone, but you know, their peers are going through it as well, and they can help you through it. So it's kind of the cool part about TEDx Vail Youth.
That is so true. Yeah, that part about joining with others collectively in community. There were tears, there was laughter, there was standing ovations, delicious ice cream and rice dishes, and all kinds of social activities to enjoy. It was truly outstanding.
Awesome. And now we pivot to the TEDx Vail, right? Yep. Some similar topics, right? But kind of a theme around this is AI. Is that right?
That's right. We felt like AI has an impact on everything in our lives. So we thought it would be useful for the business community, for local leaders, to have access to some of the really stunning outcomes that have already been produced with large language learning models.
Yeah, amazing. So it's looking at what's already been produced, and then probably, I'm assuming, it's looking ahead, too, to the future of AI. Is that right?
Absolutely. We're learning about incredible, audacious generosities. Funding. TED Fellows will feature an update on what the fellows have been doing over the last decade and a half. You know, TEDx Vail was one of the very first TEDx's ever.
Awesome.
So we've learned a lot. We're trying to take the best of what TED offers, and we're making some very significant offerings that we feel will be relevant and important for the community.
So cool. I'm one of those people that loves to consume videos, especially in that short form, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of the TED form.
Yep.
Can you talk a little bit about some of the speakers that are coming on April 28th, how many, and what the topics will be?
Yeah, well, I'm just halfway through watching the conference because it's still going on. Today and tomorrow it will wrap up. So I can't tell you specifically. I can highlight a couple of things that are big surprises that I think will make the final cut. One is from the people who have been working on this for about 40 years. They have learned how to take AI and use it as a way of uncovering protein.
Oh, wow.
And I'm reluctant to do the giveaway, but I'm going to do the reveal anyway. They have done 1 billion years worth of research using AI to make a profound both health and food discovery.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Very, very, very way out there and awesome that people are looking into stuff like that, and that impacts our community so much here as well, right?
Yeah.
Sunday, April 28th, where is the event and how can people get tickets or more information?
Yeah, so the event is at 1 o'clock Sunday, April 28th at Colorado Mountain College. And you can get tickets online, TEDx Vail Live. You can go to tedxvail.com. I hope we have our registration up there. We're just recovering from the most recent event. And the tickets are $20. And it's going to be in the multi-purpose room there. It's a limited audience. And it'll go probably for a couple of hours. We'll have time for discussion and talk about how it relates to our community here in Vail Valley.
Yeah, awesome. So it's a small venue makes it even that more impactful, but definitely get your tickets if you're planning on going, and definitely recommend going. Sunday, April 28th at Colorado Mountain College at Edwards.
Yes, yes.
TEDx Vail. What else? Can people watch online, or how can people kind of get involved if they're not going to be there in person?
The awesome thing about this is you cannot see any of these talks now.
Awesome.
They're just happening. They're not revealed yet. So you will be at the forefront in the know. So if you suffer from the fear of missing out, get your tickets now. They're only a small number.
Yeah, so it's kind of a sneak peek into some of these and kind of an exclusive look at some of these.
And not all of these talks that are happening in Vancouver will be edited down and released to the public. So it could be that we have access to something that the public will never get.
Awesome, awesome. What a kind of once in a lifetime chance there to see that.
Exactly.
And then with the youth that just presented, is that online somewhere? Can people go back and watch those?
Yeah, we so our agreement with TED is if we produce a TEDx in our local community with live speakers, we are required to edit those and upload those as long as they meet the TED required elements. So we're in the process of doing that right now.
Of course, of course.
Yeah.
Not even a week out of that one.
Right. One talk that I would encourage everyone to see is Casey Cooney, a local grad from Battle Mountain High School. He brought the crowd to near tears several times. Really a powerful talk about education and perseverance and becoming your own hero.
Awesome, awesome. It's so encouraging to see local youth get out of their shell and share their stories. It's really awesome to see. It's been a hot month for TED here in the Vail Valley. What happens after Sunday? What's kind of the plan after that?
Yeah, so we do a debrief always. We're a continually learning group of volunteers, all done because we care about our community and we want these ideas to bubble up and see how they can improve life here.
Right.
So we will be producing in October an online event mostly focused on women in taking care of Earth and the people that make our community beautiful. So that will be largely an international event.
Awesome. Plenty of time on that one. Definitely coming up sooner is that Sunday, April 28th, TEDx Vail event. What are you most excited about for that event on the 28th?
On this Sunday, I think I'm really curious about how we will kind of divide into different discussion groups and really listen for other perspectives. TED is really encouraging a democratic effort this year. Of course, it's an election year. TEDx Vail encourages you to register to vote.
Yes.
And so really hearing the other points of view, understanding those perspectives, not having a single through line of this is the way reality is. We're all individual. We all have different walks in life. So how we see things is different, and learning how to really listen and appreciate other perspectives.
Yep, yeah, and that's one of the beautiful things. It's a conversation starter, right? You know, it's not telling you one thing or the other. It's just to get that conversation going, and that's one of the most important things of it that comes out of it, right?
Exactly.
TEDx Vail, Sunday, April 28th. Get your tickets now. $20 goes to a great cause, and again, you're going to be some of the only people to see these videos. So, so if you're interested, definitely check it out. More information online.
Yes.
And tickets online.
TEDxVail.com.
Awesome. TEDxVail.com. Check it out. We got about 10 days till it comes up, but going to be some pretty powerful stuff there. Powerful stuff. And Kat's the one behind it all with her team. And check out the website for more information, and stay tuned for more Good Morning Vail.
Good Morning Vail.
Tune into Coffee with America and start your day in the right direction, where we go over the latest and greatest in health, lifestyle, entertainment, and more. Start your day off on Coffee with America.
I'm Danella Richard. I've made a career traveling the world. I've worked for some of the biggest names in travel, and now I've traded in my business suit for a swimsuit. Swimming with the sharks, swinging at the edge of the world, throwing back a few shots, or shall I say spirits. Woo. Eating some of the best cuisine, and even making a few furry friends along the way. I invite you to come along with me and discover the world.
Eyepieces of Vail has been a fixture in the Vail community for over 30 years. From designer frames and sunglasses to high-performance sports frames, prescription goggles, and in-demand accessories like helmets, goggle lenses, and foldable reading glasses, our inventory raises the optical bar. Visit one of our 7 locations today and see why generations of loyal customers return time after time for our unmatched service and inventory. Eyepieces, the art of vision.
Welcome to the Vibe Report with Avisha. This is where I tell you all about the exciting happenings around town. With ski season coming to a close, it's time to celebrate the end of another successful winter. The town of Vail is having their Vail Après end of season bash, starting with the Vail Social Ski Race on Friday at 1, followed by live music with Cass Haley. More details can be found at discovervail.com. On Saturday, Cucina in the Lodge at Vail is having their own end-of-season celebration called Kill the Keg Party. The lucky person whose beer finishes each keg will get 50% off their entire tab. 420 celebrations are taking place Saturday, April 20th, with Taylor Scott's 420 Throwdown at Shakedown Bar. The 2nd Street Tavern is having a party, and Chasing Rabbits will have music by Holidays featuring Julia Sandstorm. Also on Saturday, the Cocktails and Canvas series continues at the Alpine Arts Center with a tree painting event. Visit alpineartscenter.org for more information. Earth Day is Monday, April 22nd, and the preceding week is Climate Action Week. Walking Mountains has a week full of events, including a backcountry snowshoe hike. Visit walkingmountains.org/climateaction for all the details. That's it for this weekend's Vibe Report, friends. Be sure to follow the Vail Vibes TV8 Instagram for more info. And as always, spread the good vibes.
Good Morning Vail.
I almost did the hand puppet while we were getting ready to start, come up and creep over. But I'm really excited because we get to pull out the chicken, the chicken nuggets, which I hope will rival Planet Hollywood's version. So I'm gonna pull them out because I think they looked pretty good. They're really nice and crispy on the outside. Then we're gonna make the sauce. We're gonna let them cool a little bit, dip it in the sauce.
Yes.
It's gonna be a great Thursday.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't like chicken?
Yeah. Looking good, smelling good.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So nice and crispy. I'm gonna grab one more of these just to pull it out of the oven.
Got it?
Yeah, we've got it nice and crispy.
Oh,
so you can kind of do it a couple different ways here. If you had an air fryer, you can fry it. If you wanted to really try your hand at true traditional
man.
frying.
Ooh.
Put it in some hot oil. But I like the baking method because, I mean, look at it. Looks gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, nice and golden. We got a couple of pieces that are a little bit more crispy, but I think that comes from the sugar and the Captain Crunch.
I like it like that.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. So we'll let these cool a little bit, and then we're gonna get started, and we're gonna make some sauce for it. So this is the fun part, honey mustard. It's not just mustard and honey.
Okay.
I mean, it could be,
Okay.
but if you really want the consistency to be a little bit more creamy and you want some added layers and of depth and taste, we're gonna show you how to do that.
Sweet.
So 5 ingredients, really easy. We've got Dijon honey, or Dijon mustard.
Okay.
We've got mayo, regular honey, and then we've also got vinegar and then some cayenne pepper. So do you like a kick to your recipes?
Of course, yeah.
So we're gonna keep, the cayenne pepper could be optional, but we're gonna go ahead and do
Okay.
it. So what do you think? Should we get started?
Yeah, let's try
All
this
right.
thing.
Well, let's start with the base. Let's do 1/3 of a cup of the Dijon mustard.
All right.
You could probably use yellow mustard as well, but I like the way that Dijon mustard tastes. It's just a little bit more flavorful, and I think looks good to me.
That is exactly a
Yeah,
third.
you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. So we're just going to throw it in there. And then the best part about making sauces is you can kind of just mix and match and to taste, you know. So
Yeah.
If we like want it to be more sweet, we'll add more honey. If we want more mustard taste, we'll add more mustard. But then mayo is the secret to all sauces. I'm not a big mayo girl, but we're doing about 1/4 of a cup of mayo.
Should I just go in with the spoon?
Yeah, you
here?
can, or you can use this little spoon right there, which might make it a little bit easier.
No, I think we can do it like that. Yep.
We're going in.
Perfect.
I love cooking with Ross.
That is exactly
You know,
a 1/4 cup.
I think it's efficiency is the name of the game. So we're actually going to do about another 1/4 cup of the honey as
Well,
well.
what's the baking is a science. Like you can't mess
You
around
can't
with baking.
no, but everything else you can
But
just
everything
kind of
else
throw together.
is made with love.
It is made with love and taste buds. You know, that's how I look at it. We'll do 1/4 of a cup of honey as well. And while you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and start whisking this together. Doesn't look the best yet, but it's about to. So we've got that honey that's coming in. If you want to like scrape the edges with the spoon, because honey sometimes gets stuck in there.
Oh, it's definitely stuck in
It's definitely. I put honey in everything.
It's good for you.
It really is. You know, I actually went down to Nap Harvest last week.
Get
and
some
I
local honey?
I bought a few mini jars of the local honey because allergy season is upon us.
It's so true. It's so true.
It's the worst. So we've got the mayo, we've got the honey, we've got the mustard. So we're just going to mix it together, and you can kind of see that this consistency is a little bit more. I guess you could say it's less dense and it's more runny now. But we're going to add 1 tablespoon of vinegar, and this is going to give it kind of counterbalance the sweet flavor. We'll just mix that in there. And then this is the fun part. I like a kick to things, so we're throwing in some cayenne pepper.
How are you supposed to get in this little spoon?
Just unscrew the top, Ross. That's how you do it.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I think we
Actually,
eyeball it.
Let's do this and completely take the top
Okay.
off. How does that sound?
I don't know how I feel about that.
And then you can just stick it in there just like that. Looking good. Personally, I like a kick to things. Although I did have some chicken wings the other day, and she warned us that the sauce was hot. No, the dry rub was also very spicy. I love a good spice, but not where it's to the point where you can't taste the rest of your meal because your mouth is on fire.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
Are you a big spicy guy?
Yeah, every now and then.
Every now and then.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
awesome. So we're just whisking it together. It looks pretty good to me.
Looks really good.
And then you can kind of clean some things up. Do you want to do a quick little taste test? What do you think? And tell me if you think we need anything else
Yeah, let's do it.
before we dip the chicken in, because you don't want to waste any chicken on some sauce. You know what I'm saying?
It smells good.
Yeah, you smell the vinegar, the honey.
That's
Yeah,
good.
are we
That's
good?
pretty
Do we need to add anything else to it?
I don't know.
Are you sure?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I'll taste it.
Do we add more Captain Crunch?
Well, we're about to add all the Captain
That's
Crunch
pretty-
to it.
It's something.
All right, what's it missing?
You tell me.
Is it missing something?
It's not missing. It just needs a little bit more of.
Let's put a little more mustard, a little more vinegar.
Oh, that's exactly
That's
what
what I
I was.
would
That's
do.
what I was
That's
thinking.
what I would do,
That's
just a
what I
little
was
bit.
thinking. Just a squeeze.
Yeah, you can do a little bit more than that. But yeah, I can taste the honey, but I don't like it on the super sweet side.
It's sweet.
That's good. And then we'll add a little bit more vinegar, just a tiny, tiny bit. You ready for it?
Yeah.
Should I be the one pouring it? You ready? 3, 2, a little bit more. There we go. That looks good to me.
That looks perfect.
And then if you know what you can always do is cut it more with mayo too, if the flavors are a little too strong. I have a feeling it's probably going to be pretty good. So what do you say?
Yeah.
Is it time to plate the chicken?
I think it is.
And then dip it in the sauce. We're just gonna move some of the chicken over here. I'm using my fingers. I washed my hands in between the break.
It's all good.
So did Ross.
It's all good.
You know, we got all of that raw chicken off our fingers so that we can use our fingers to eat these Captain Crunch nuggets.
They look so good.
I can't wait to try it and dip it in the sauce. Okay.
All right, here we
Should
go.
we put some sauce on the plate?
I
No,
think
we're
we
just
go
going
straight
straight
in.
in. We're going straight in. Ross is like, oh boy, here we go, no pressure. Now we can also add a little bit more salt to these nuggets if we need to. It's usually what I like to do. I do less salt when I'm making it and then more salt at the end. All right, well, I'm gonna dip it too. Well, chicken nugget cheers.
Chicken nugget cheers. That was pretty good. Planet Hollywood.
Planet Hollywood. We're gonna keep on. Well, I'm gonna let you keep chewing.
It's
but
pretty good.
It did. We could probably do, if you wanted to make it more sweet, just do straight Captain Crunch. But I like the sweet hint.
That's good.
of
Yeah,
sugar.
no, that was good. I think going the nuggets was a good call
Yeah,
too.
I do too. I like nuggets better than chicken tenders.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
More breading, you know,
More to
smaller,
go around.
easier bite size. It is what it is. But the I don't know. I love this. It's a quick and easy meal. you
Yeah.
know? And everything's made from scratch, and people are always more impressed when things are made from scratch. So
That honey mustard sauce was good.
yeah, it was really good.
I'm glad we added a little bit more mustard.
It gave it a little more depth, a little bit more tanginess, and kind of counterbalances the Captain Crunch. But, you know, I bet you're right. We could try it with like Captain Crunch and berries and see what that tastes like.
I'm not really getting the Captain Crunch. Are you getting the flavor?
It's
or
a
is
little
it
bit
just
light.
like-
It's not. It's more subtle because
Yeah.
we added the panko breadcrumbs into
Yeah.
it. So if you wanted a straight Captain Crunch, no breadcrumbs, 1 extra cup of the Captain Crunch cereal. Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know. Pretty easy.
I can get playful with it.
I think so. You know, that's the beauty of cooking in the kitchen. You kind of take a recipe and make it your own,
Yeah.
which is what, you know, these are just gentle suggestions
Gentle
if you are looking for something to do for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Coming up on the close of our show. So great show. We had a lot of fun today.
Yeah, that was awesome,
It was
and always good to be in the kitchen with you, Ken.
Now that you are off the slopes, you're going to be in the kitchen with us tonight.
Yeah, I
I've
don't
got
know
jokes
about
today,
that.
that's
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Anyways, we'll be back with more after this quick break.
Good morning, Vail.
In America's heartland, living close to the land, there's a love for the country and a pride in the brand. In America's heartland, living close to the land. In America's heartland, close to the land.
I'm Amy Goodman, host of Democracy Now! Our independent news hour offers diverse perspectives and unique opinions, often unheard in the mainstream media, live as the news unfolds. Tune in for Democracy Now!, the War and Peace Report, weekday mornings at 9 and evenings at 6 on TV8 Vail, Comcast Xfinity Channel 92. There's more for you on Channel 92.
What happens to a poker player when there is life-changing money on the line?
Hey, catch! I'm rooting for me.
When they are faced with adversity?
Holy smoke. Jason can't even breathe right now. Look at him.
When a WPT title is within their grasp?
How sweet that is, baby!
See for yourself with a front row seat to all the action on the World Poker Tour.
When people think of world-class destinations, they're drawn to a place that provides opportunities for fine dining, shopping, superior lodging, exciting events, and unparalleled outdoor activities. Park City, Utah, and Vail, Colorado are renowned destinations for travelers and extraordinary homes for residents. Feature your exceptional products and services in these 2 luxury communities. Advertise with Park City Television and TV8 Vail. Contact us today.
Join us in exploring the everyday lives of community members here in the Vail Valley. Hear their inspiring stories of how they came here, their contributions to our community, and why they chose to call this place home. We want you to be one of our neighbors. If you would like to be featured or nominate someone to be featured, please send an email to Danielle@tv8vail.com We look forward to featuring your story right here on TV8.
Hi, I'm Gretchen Pleshaw, host of TV8 Vail. From fashion to food, from film to festivals, experience a unique look at the boutiques, spas, restaurants, and venues that make the Valley so special. Join me for Glitz and Glam. Find it in Good Morning Vail or at our website at tv8vail.com. I can't wait for our next adventure.
Join host Madison Brown as she visits with guests ranging from country star Toby Keith to magician Tommy Wynn. Explores the kitchen from cake decorating to cooking Hawaiian style, all while exploring unique locations across the country. Check your local listings and tune in.
Good morning, Vail.
Man, end of our show. What do you think?
That was a great day.
It was a great day. With I can't believe all of the TEDx Vail events that are happening.
They're so cool. And like in today's world, just consuming a short video with all that information is the way it's going.
I really, and honestly, I don't have patience to sit there and watch a video for 45 minutes. So I love all that they offer. I think it's a really great, great educational space, and also a really great space for people in our community to showcase who they are.
Yeah, and CMC and Edwards is a great spot for it.
Yeah.
And April 28th is going to be a fun one.
April 28th. So they already did the TEDx Vail Youth that already happened, and it sounds like there were some really great conversations that were had.
And those will be coming out online any day now, it sounds like, so keep an eye out for those.
Some heavy topics too,
Always.
You know, mental health and education, and these are all being led by the students, but then we've got the adult version that's coming in. And
they might be heavy, but they need to be talked about.
It's true.
And so what better forum than a TED Talk?
I agree, especially because everybody's so exposed to all kinds of information now, thanks to social media.
Yeah.
But, you know, always fun. We had a blast in the kitchen.
Always fun in the kitchen with you, Kim.
Yeah.
Don't know what it's going to be next time, but I can't wait already.
It's always a surprise when Ross sees this rundown in the schedule. What is he cooking today? So we did a great job. Captain Crunch chicken nuggets, so good. A similar twist to what I grew up on when I went to Planet Hollywood for dinner as a kid.
Good stuff. A couple more days left at Vail here, and then we're rocking and rolling into summer.
Hard to believe we're on the weekend eve. So we'll see everyone tomorrow. Thanks for joining.
Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
Are you looking for exciting and nutritious recipes to cook at home? Watch Colorful Cooking with Tracy Miller on TV8 Vail.